Have you ever asked yourself why, despite all your efforts, it feels like nobody listens to you? Why your voice doesn't carry any weight? Why, in group settings, your best ideas get ignored while others get applause for stating the obvious? Yes, I know, it's frustrating. It can cause a silent rage. But the truth behind this is as simple as it is hard to accept. Respect and recognition from the world start with the respect you have for yourself. Now imagine if I told you that this reality doesn't depend on luck, or on other people's natural charisma, or on external circumstances. That this switch has always been in your hands. It sounds simple, but we know it's one of the most demanding tasks in life. And that's exactly why it's so powerful, and requires real courage. The world as a mirror. How self-perception reflects back. We live in a society of mirrors. The way you treat yourself is absorbed, interpreted, and reflected back by the world around you. When you diminish yourself, out of insecurity, fear, or maybe just habit, you end up inviting that same behavior from others. The first lesson of the ancient Stoics is this: the world rejects or embraces you only to the degree that you reject or embrace yourself internally. You can see this in simple situations. Have you ever noticed how someone who enters a room quietly, with slumped shoulders and eyes to the ground, almost becomes invisible? And how the person who shows up fully present, with steady eye contact and calm speech, instantly draws attention, even before saying anything significant? Presence is built from the inside out. Wisdom from Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and one of Stoicism's greatest teachers, wrote, "Dignity doesn't depend on the approval of others, but on the way you govern your own mind." For Marcus, it wasn't the throne that gave him authority, but the serenity with which he carried himself through criticism and adversity. This applies to each of us, regardless of title, age, or circumstances. Limiting beliefs. The invisible enemy. Most people, consciously or unconsciously, believe they don't deserve to be taken seriously. It might be because of past mistakes, fear of failure, insecurities from childhood, or unfair comparisons with others. We end up creating a sort of low ceiling for how much respect we think we deserve. Deep down, that voice saying, "Who are you to speak up? You're not good enough," or "People will laugh if you try," keeps you locked in a cycle of invisibility. The Stoic actively confronts this voice. They face it, question its logic, and replace it with another: "I was placed in this world to play my unique part. Only I can take responsibility for how I carry myself through life." Expectation versus reality. Are you waiting for what won't come? This is where Stoicism clashes with modern expectations. We wait for approval from others, friends, family, bosses, colleagues, before we even approve of ourselves. But here's the thing: this rarely ever happens. The world is chaotic, busy, and indifferent to our vulnerabilities. Very few people will guess your value if you're not demonstrating it clearly. Stoicism offers a challenge. Stop waiting for permission, and start giving yourself permission. How to take yourself seriously. Practical and reflective lessons from Stoicism. 1. Self-knowledge and reviewing your posture. The first step. Look within. Ask yourself the uncomfortable questions. In which situations do you feel most insecure or blocked? What types of people intimidate you? When do you stay quiet even when you have something important to say? Knowing your triggers is the first step to overcoming them. The Stoics were almost scientists of their own minds. They observed and wrote down their thoughts, reactions, desires, and fears, not to punish themselves, but to improve. 2. Radical responsibility. The Stoic sphere of control. Epictetus taught that the only thing we can truly control is our own mind and the choices we make. Everything else, praise, criticism, acceptance, rejection, is out of our hands. When you take 100% responsibility for how you behave, speak, and position yourself, you're no longer a hostage to the unpredictable. Exercise. Whenever you feel a lack of respect from others, ask yourself, what is actually in my control right now? How can I act with integrity, regardless of what others expect? 3. Physical and mental posture. The body never lies. Your body is the first language the world picks up on. Try this. Walk with a straight spine, breathe deeply, take confident steps. Make eye contact and hold it. Simply adjusting your posture changes not only how others see you, but how you see yourself, even releasing confidence hormones. Stoic tip: when you start to feel insecure, take a 3 to 5 second pause, breathe deeply, adjust your posture, and then speak. That break disrupts your automatic fear cycle. 4. Strategic vulnerability. The Stoic also feels. A common misunderstanding is that Stoicism means turning into a robot. Not true. Being Stoic is about feeling, recognizing your fears and insecurities, but not being ruled by them. People who let themselves be vulnerable, admitting when they don't know something, or when they're scared, show true emotional strength. Respect grows from the courage to be authentic. 5. Assertive communication. The power of simple words. Being respected doesn't require complicated vocabulary or loud speech. Stoic communication is clear, direct, and objective. Say no when you need to, without guilt. Say yes with awareness. Avoid unnecessary apologies. When you speak clearly, you create an atmosphere of mutual respect. Exercise. Every day, write down at least one moment where you manage to speak with more firmness. This ongoing record will highlight your progress over time. 6. Coherence and virtue. Respect is built in everyday actions. The Stoics believed that living according to your values is the foundation of genuine authority. It's not about selling an image, but about truly being someone worthy of respect, through your example. A coworker who keeps their word, who doesn't lie, who helps without expecting applause, naturally earns recognition. Respect is built in your daily actions. Being punctual, fulfilling your commitments, admitting mistakes, helping without expecting anything in return, telling the truth even when it's uncomfortable. 7. Freedom from others' judgments. The famous Stoic indifference. The ultimate Stoic antidote to caring too much about others' opinions is to consciously cultivate indifference to what's outside your control. This doesn't mean being rude or disconnected, it means understanding the limits of others' judgments. The world is unpredictable. Try to please everyone and you'll lose yourself. Practical example. From invisibility to respect at work. Picture this common scenario: a team meeting at work. You have an excellent idea, but you hesitate to share it. Your mind repeats, what if it's dumb? What if they laugh? What if someone interrupts? Afraid, you stay quiet. Days later, someone else presents a similar idea and gets all the compliments. You feel frustrated, but deep down, you know you lack the courage to speak up. What does Stoicism teach? Next time, prepare yourself. If insecurity appears, remember, my value doesn't depend on others' reaction. I respect myself enough to share what I think. Put your idea out there, even if your voice is shaky. This repeated practice, messing up, adjusting your delivery, strengthening your posture, is what gradually changes how the team sees you, and most importantly, how you see yourself. The upward cycle, how respect multiplies. When you start taking yourself seriously, even in small, daily acts, a new cycle begins. You assert yourself more confidently. People test and start to notice your presence. Your environment gradually responds with more respect and attention. This external validation strengthens your self-confidence. Your new confidence drives even more positive actions. Over time, the outer world almost syncs up with your internal posture. It's not magic, nor is it immediate. It's a real, deep, and, most importantly, liberating process. Important note about Stoic humility versus arrogance. Taking yourself seriously has nothing to do with arrogance. Arrogance is the mask of those who lack real self-respect. It's empty noise. Healthy respect is rooted in humility, in recognizing your limitations, but also your unshakable value as a human being. The Stoics remind us, not everything I think is true, not everything I feel is permanent. Make space for doubt, for learning, for dialogue. People who are truly respected are always open to growth. Stoic exercises to bring into your daily life. Stoic journal. Every night, write a short reflection. Where today did I act with integrity, even if I was afraid? Preparation meditation. Before important moments, meetings, tough conversations, sit for 2 minutes and visualize yourself being consistent, speaking clearly, accepting whatever result comes. Stoic question. When facing doubts or challenges, ask, am I being guided by fear or by virtue? Celebrate small wins. Celebrate each step forward. True respect doesn't come from great, isolated gestures. It comes from 1,000 small, daily decisions. Final thoughts. The brutal truth echoes. No one takes you seriously until you do. But not as a punishment, instead, as a real opportunity to change. Don't rely on chance, or on the ever-changing opinions of others. Start, right now, by deeply respecting who you are, even with doubts and imperfections. Speak up, take chances, assert yourself, and stand tall. Celebrate your progress, and honor your journey. Stoic philosophy doesn't promise you a perfect world, but it does offer a life where you recognize yourself as the main character and builder of your fate. Never forget, the world is a mirror. Respect yourself first, and little by little, everything around you will begin to reflect that change. Final reminder and reflection. The secret to being respected starts when you take charge of your own life, stop needing validation from outside, practice self-awareness, and steadily align your speech, actions, and intentions. This has always been, and will always be, the true foundation of respect, according to the Stoics and to everyone who chooses, with courage, to take themselves seriously. So why not start that transformation today? The world is waiting, but above all, you deserve to hear yourself, to value yourself, and to respect yourself. From there, everything begins to change.